Hello, this is Oksana, and this is going to be my Silk Naturals winter/holiday collection video. I already did a quick little video when I first got my package, just kind of opening it with you guys. I was so excited and wanted to share my excitement as soon as I got it. So this is my more in-depth video where I will show you more thorough swatches of everything. And what I'm going to do is when I talk about each lip product, I am going to be wearing it on my lips. So first I'm going to talk about Broadway, and that's what I have on my lips right now, so you can see what it looks like. So heads up on that, and then I'm going to also show you what it looks like in the little tube, and I'm going to show you swatches after I talk about them. I'm going to show you them swatched on my arm, both indoors and outdoors. And I'm going to compare it to some of the other lip products that I own from Silk Naturals, both current ones and older discontinued ones, just in case you happen to know what those look like or maybe own some of them. You can kind of see some comparisons. So first I'm going to talk about them, then I'm going to show you the swatches. First up is Broadway. So Broadway used to be a liquid lip gloss, and a lot of people missed it because the liquid lip glosses got discontinued, at least temporarily as far as I know. And so Broadway is now in slick stick form, as are a lot of the other liquid lip gloss colors that existed. And it is beautiful. It is just a wash of gorgeous pixie dust shimmer. The shimmer is not so large so that you can feel it. It does not feel gritty on your lips, but it is large enough to see. Like if you were to swatch it, you can see the individual shimmers. And there are just all sorts of colors in there. You can see green, you can see purple, pink, gold. It's just like beautiful, iridescent, glittery goodness. And it's great for layering if you want to really spruce up another color, or maybe a matte color, you want to make it all shimmery. Very good, I think, for the holidays. And you can, of course, wear it on its own like I'm doing right now, and that's kind of the look that you get. And I think it's very pretty. So that is Broadway.
So this is Broadway. First is the new Slick Stick version, and then right next to that is the old lip gloss version. This is Broadway, outside in the sunshine. First is the new Slick Stick, and second is the liquid lip gloss.
The next color I'm going to be talking about is Double Down, and this is a very unique color because it is a very light sheer peach with green iridescence. It's really, really cool, and the iridescence kind of shifts where sometimes it looks a little bit maybe peachy or pinkish, and then or maybe golden, and at some angles it looks a little bit greenish, but it doesn't look green on your lips. Like you can see it on my lips right now. They're not looking, you know, too weird. It is a unique color, but it's definitely a very wearable color, and it is really sheer, which makes it even more wearable. So if you're familiar with Betty, which is one of my absolute favorite lip colors, that one is a kind of not a light pink, maybe like a mid-tone reddish pink. It is sheer and it has green shimmer in it. This is like a cousin of Betty, that if you're wishing Betty was peach instead of pink, this is what it is. It is definitely not pink. It's pretty much straight up peach, and it's lighter and probably a little bit more sheer than Betty, but it's got that beautiful greenish iridescence in it, and I just think it looks beautiful, and I really, really like it. So that is Double Down.
So this is Jackpot, Double Down, and then Betty. Indoors. Here is what Double Down looks like in the sunlight. It's right in the middle there. The swatches go from left to right. Jackpot, Double Down, and Betty, and I swatched Jackpot for you again so you can see what it looks like in comparison. You can see Double Down is a lot more peach. It's lighter as well, and Betty is not really similar to Double Down, but I wanted to swatch them next to each other just because they both have that green interference to them.
The next color I'm going to tell you about is Jackpot, and this is another Slick Stick. And if you are missing the old discontinued champagne liquid lip gloss, or the discontinued sheer gold layering lippies. There was one called Excite, and there was another one called Gleaming. This is sort of your alternative. Now, it's not quite like Excite or Gleaming. Those were very yellow gold, light colors. This is much closer to that old lip gloss that used to exist called Champagne, because it's definitely got that champagne tone to it, which makes it a little bit more wearable, I think, for some people, because it's a little bit deeper, whereas the light gold, those were more kind of layering colors, I think, for most people. Or of course you could wear them on their own. I wore them on their own, but this one is more of like a nude lip because of that champagne tone that it has to it, and it has shimmer to it, golden shimmer, so it's a very pretty color, a nice sheer light golden nude. So that is Jackpot.
The Jackpot is right in the middle. First is a liquid lip gloss called Champagne. That is something that doesn't exist anymore. And then is Jackpot, and the last swatch is the Amplifying Lip Glaze Excite. This is Jackpot in the sunshine. First is the old liquid lip gloss Champagne, then it's Jackpot, and last is the Amplifying Lip Glaze Excite.
The next color I'm going to tell you about is Aces, and this again is in slick stick form. So I'm wearing it on my lips right now, and it is, as you can see, a vivid mid-tone pink, but it has lots and lots of gold shimmer in it. So if you are a fan of gold shimmer, it does warm it up quite a bit. It makes it a warm-toned, almost borderline peachy pink. I think it's very beautiful. And that is Aces.
This is Aces, and right next to it Belrose in indoor lighting. This first swatch is Aces, and next to it is Belrose. And Aces is the new color. Belrose is sort of the same depth of pink. That's why I wanted to compare them for you, but it doesn't have gold shimmer, which makes it look quite a bit different than Aces. Aces has quite a bit of gold shimmer to it.
The next color that I'm going to tell you about is an amplifying lip glaze called Full House, and I'm very excited about it because not only do I love amplifying lip glazes because they're minty, but also I love kind of cool violet tones, and one of my all-time favorite colors was a discontinued shade called Wisteria, and I think this is very similar to that shade. It's also somewhat similar to Shrieking Violet, which I will show you in swatches when I show these two, but it's a little bit more similar to Wisteria. And it's just a beautiful, very cool toned pink violet shade. It has very strong blue slash purple iridescence to it, and you know, if you like unique kind of more iridescent type colors, I think this is for you. If you like cool toned violet toned shades, this is for you, and I absolutely think it's beautiful, and I really like this shade. So again, that is Full House.
So Full House is right in the middle there. It goes Wisteria, which is a discontinued color, Full House, and then Shrieking Violet. And so I think Full House will be a good dupe for Wisteria if you're missing that color. Here we are outdoors in the sunshine. So it goes left to right Wisteria, then Full House, and then Shrieking Violet.
The next color I'm going to tell you is another amplifying lip glaze called 5 Star, and this is a somewhat on the darker side nude brown, and it is a little bit warmer toned. I definitely see, you know, some warm, maybe peachy orangey tones to it. Not too much, but a little bit, definitely more towards warm than cool toned. So I have it on my lips right now, and that is what it looks like. That is 5 Star. And the last lip color I ordered that I'm going to tell you about, last but not least, is the organic lipstick called All In. And I am very excited about this. I typically don't wear colors this dark, but I've been getting more into darker colors, and I absolutely love this. I think it is going to be great for winter, great for fall as well, and it's just a beautiful dark plum, I guess, or almost like a not necessarily a wine, not quite enough purple in there for that, but it's just a very pretty, deep, cool tone shade, which I feel like I tend to go for the cooler tones more, but I don't like when they're too red. So this one is not too red, so I really, really like it. It reminds me of Captivate, which I believe was discontinued. So, except it's a lipstick form and it's more opaque. As you can see, and it's also almost like a matte finish. It's not as glossy as their other formulations like the Slick Sticks or the Amplifying Lip Glazes. So I really, really like this one. I think that, you know, I'm getting really into these sorts of colors, especially now in this season. So that's what it looks like. And again, that is the All In Organic Lipstick.
This is a swatch of the lipstick All In. It's right in the center there. And to the left of it, I have Captivate, which is a discontinued color. It's a little bit more plummy and a little bit more sheer. And to the right of it, I have Black Dahlia, which is more sheer, obviously, as you can tell. But they're kind of comparable colors, so I wanted to swatch them next to it for you. This is Outdoors in the Sunlight, Captivate, then All In, and then Black Dahlia.
And then there are two, it says HD Cream Blush on the packaging. This is a new formula, but one is actually a highlighter called Limelight, and one is a matte bronzer called Vegas Vixen, and I really like them all. The bronzer, I like that it's matte. It is not too orangey, but it's a little bit on the warmer side. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a cool toned bronzer, but I like that it's matte. They had a bronzer previously in this kind of form, in the stick cream form, but it was glowy with fine shimmer in there, so I'm glad to have a matte one that'll be useful for contouring. And then the Limelight Highlighter, this is very nice because it actually gives you some strong glow, which I really like, and you of course can blend it out for something a little bit more subtle, but I'm one of those people that prefers something a little bit stronger. I don't like glitter or shimmer. I like more of a strong pearly sheen, and that's what this is, and I really like that because I don't see little, you know, chunks of shimmer. There's no fallout. It's just a strong pearly sheen, and you can build it up or blend it out to however you want, but I like having that option to build it up to really, you know, give myself a glow versus products that are very, very subtle and they don't build up well. So I'm really happy to have this. I just put it on just now to show you. I don't know how visible it's gonna be, but I put just right here on my cheekbones. I just really like the glow that it gives. I've worn this already on several occasions, and it's a pretty neutral all-around color. Like, it's not quite white, it's more of like an ivory tone in the container, but it's not, you know, it's not warm, it's not cool, it's not pink, it's not gold, it just kind of is that neutral kind of glow. And so I really like that because it'll work with whatever kind of blush you're wearing and, you know, the rest of your makeup. So really like this product. And then there is a cream eyeshadow I'm going to show you called Bluff. They have several new ones and some of them look absolutely gorgeous, but this is the one that I narrowed it down to. I might get some of the other ones in the future. There's a really cool, forget exactly what color it is, but it has like green iridescence to it. But this one is a very neutral shade. It is a pearly sheen, like a golden, just like a golden beige color basically. And it does have a pearly sheen, but it's not that strong of a sheen. There's no glitter. This is pretty much like a everyday, if you like to do a natural look kind of color that you could throw on. And that's kind of the reason why I got it is, you know, I got it for those days that I'm only going to wear one product on my eyes, one eyeshadow, that I could just throw this on and it'll look good by itself. But of course you can pair it, you know, with a darker crease color and all that, but just a very natural nude type look. So that is Bluff eyeshadow. And then I got a sample of their translucent cloud finishing powder, which is a white powder, and there's a new ingredient that they're using called ceramic microspheres, and that is what is in their cream foundation, which I'm gonna get to, saving the best for last, right? And that is what they use in this powder as well. So one thing that they talk about, these ceramic microspheres do not absorb oil like silica. They have the same kind of blurring, mattifying effect, but they're not oil absorbing, which sounded perfect for me because my skin is dry. I cannot do too much silica. I do find it really drying to my skin, but I like the way that it looks. And this, I would say that it looks a little different than a silica-based product. It's, I think just because silica is clear and this is white, it doesn't necessarily give you a white cast, but it just looks a little bit different, but it does have that same blurring, mattifying effect. I think that they're pretty good alternatives to each other. So if you have dry skin and you're looking for a translucent finishing powder, I did use this to set my under eye concealer, and I think it worked good for that. This isn't the first day that I've tried it, so I think it works good, and it's not, because it's not oil absorbing, it doesn't dry that delicate under eye area. So I really like it. I've used it a few times so far, and I guess that's kind of a first impression for you on this cloud finishing powder. They also have a golden shade as well, like a yellow golden. This is just white translucent. All right, now I am getting to the foundation. And I bought just a ton of these little samples, which I will swatch all the ones that I bought. I started with the very lightest, which is G10 and N10. They have a neutral range and a gold range, and it goes from 10 to 80. So I bought all the way through, I skipped a few, like I skipped 50, and then for G, I also skipped 60. But then I did get 70 in both N and G, and I also got 80 in N. And the reason I went so dark is because I'm looking for cream contouring products as well. I thought when these came out, how perfect for contouring. And they have a white as well, which I didn't get. I probably should have, but I figured the G10 and the N10 will be so light, I can use them for the, you know, the highlight. And these are all matte, by the way. They have just like a natural skin finish, or maybe just slightly more matte than that, but definitely not like super matte or anything like that, but not glowy in any way. So I will show you definitely the swatches of all of these, but this is how they come. They come in a little pod like this, and this one I probably use the most, and you can see there's still a ton left. This is G30, and this is probably the best match for me. It's either G30 or G20. G20, I think, makes me look a tiny bit more pale. It kind of matches my neck. You can see my neck is kind of pale looking, but at the same time, like I wore it and my family was visiting for Thanksgiving and they were like, "You're looking really pale today. Are you anemic?" You know? So I think that G30 is probably what I'm gonna end up wearing. But basically how I apply this is I just stick my finger in there. This is a little bit trickier than the full-size version, which is a stick, and you can just apply it straight from the stick. It's like a giant lip balm type container. But this one is a little bit more tedious. You have to stick your finger in there and then dot it on. So I did that, And it's just a lot of, you know, this. But then I had little dots all over my face, and then I took a blending sponge, just, you know, the Beauty Blender type sponges that has been, you know, rinsed through water squished out of it, and I just blended it all over my face. So that's how I've worn it. I've worn it a few times. This is not gonna be my thorough review of it because I definitely wanna wear it, you know, for a few weeks. The coverage of this is probably light to medium. I would say close to medium, but if you try to build it past that, I'm not necessarily loving the way that it looks if you really slap a ton of it on your face. I like it blended out and kind of sheared out better. I just think it looks more natural on me. So I think that's the best way to wear it. For me is kind of light to medium coverage, sheared out with a blending sponge. I don't think you're gonna get much more than that unless you really slap on a ton of it, and then it's not going to look as natural because you're going to have a thicker layer of it on. It is creamy. It's not oily. It sinks, you know, into your skin pretty fast. I think it's great for acne prone skin because it uses fractionated coconut oil, which is called caprylic triglycerides. And in case you didn't know, a lot of companies will use that ingredient in oil-free products because the technical term that I just told you, it does not have the word oil in it. And so they'll put that in there and then they'll write oil-free, and most people look at ingredients and they're like, oh, this doesn't seem to have any oils, but it really does. It's fractionated coconut oil. It is an oil, but it's very light weight, and I think this will be great for acne prone skin as well as good for dry skin because it's not greasy but it's not drying at all. So I think this is, you know, a nice balance kind of right in between, and I really like the way that it feels on my skin. Just a nice cream foundation that has just a few ingredients in there. If you have sensitive skin, I think this will be good. There's, you know, not a lot of funky things in there. It's just kind of a basic formula, which I think is great for people with sensitive skin. So now I'll show you my swatches of the foundation.
Here are the cream foundation swatches indoors. The top row is the golden shades. It goes 10, 20, 30, 40. I don't have 50 or 60, so that darker one is 70. I got some darker as well as lighter shades for contouring, and then the last row is the neutral shades. It goes 10, 20, 30, 40. I skipped 50, and so I have 60, 70, and 80. Here are the foundation swatches outdoors. This top row is the golden shades, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 70. And this bottom row is the neutral shades, 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 60, 70, and 80.
The last item that I got is a bath item, Bath and Body after bath lotion bar, which looks like this. It is kind of a deodorant tube and you twist it up, and that's what it looks like. If you touch it, it will, you know, get on your fingers. It's not super solid, but it's kind of a soft balm is what it is. And it feels a little bit oily. It sinks into your skin pretty quick. But it's definitely like a body type product. You know, body products are a little bit heavier. I probably wouldn't use this on your face. And so it's great for dry skin when you get out of the shower or when you just stop taking your shower and your skin is still a little bit damp. I personally would dry your skin a little bit. You can use it like as soon as you turn off the shower and you're still dripping wet, but I feel like it doesn't work as well for me when I do that. Basically what it's supposed to do is it has oil and wax, and it has an emulsifier. And how lotions work rather than like butters and just straight up oils for your skin is lotions also have a water component, and they have an emulsifier that holds the water and the oil together so they don't separate. And so this is missing the water component, but it does have the emulsifier. So because it has no water or water-based ingredients, it does not need a preservative. So what happens is when you put it on damp skin, it mixes with that water and it forms kind of like a lotion. It'll start, see, it's kind of like a yellow color in here, but when you rub it on wet skin and you mix it in, it almost turns like that whitish color that typical creams and lotions are. And so it's great. I just feel like if I'm soaking wet, it's just too much water and I have a hard time kind of blending it in and rubbing it in. But as long as my skin is just a little damp, or even just straight up on dry skin, you can put it on as well. I think it works good, and it's a nice heavy moisturizer. And one place that I've been using it a lot that I really like it is my armpits, because it is kind of like a deodorant, so it's easy. You're used to using these kinds of things on your armpits, and mine can be kind of sensitive, and I can get a lot of like ingrown hairs, razor bumps kind of in that area. And I feel like if I keep it really well hydrated, then it's just a much nicer situation. So when, they're still damp from the shower, I will use this and just kind of, rub it in and kind of leave it on, not even rub it in all the way, even though you can still feel there's some product there. I just leave it on and let it soak in as long as it takes. And I really, really like it. My armpits are just so like smooth and soft, and then it's like a weird thing to talk about, but I really like it for that. So that is it. That is my entire haul, and hopefully this video was helpful to you if you wanted to see some of these products more in detail and see some swatches. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!